Good morning and welcome to another episode of the MindPower Paradigm with Elly and
Natalie and you.
yeah, good morning, Nat. How are you?
Elly, how are you?
Oh, I'm doing awesome despite the cold and the nasal congestion, but I'm doing awesome. And I'm so excited to be here again with you this morning, and I know that we've got a hot topic again. I know that.
We do. Prior to this episode, Elly and I were speaking about something that a client had brought to my attention. And I thought, what a better way to kind of kick off this week with this topic. So almost like a Dear Abby, how about Dear Elly, Dear Natalie, right? So I had a client once tell me, I chose to spend the money on a coach now because it's cheaper than spending thousands of dollars in hospital bills in the future because I didn't care of my health. And if I invest in my health now, I may live longer. So as I was reviewing this and what she had said to me, she made a really good point in the sense of we pay for every decision in life. With either time or money. It's either time or money, or as you were saying, just leveling up as a person in your consciousness, all of that, right? So if you value time more, you'll use your money to try to get more of it. And if you value money more, you'll sacrifice your time. And I thought, wow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
As I was unpacking that, wow. Right. So what do you say to that, Elly?
I think it's brilliant. First of all, personally, as a mentor, that's my profession. So as a former educator, as a mentor, as a coach, as a consultant, I think the smartest investment that anyone can do is to invest in themselves. And that again is a value. So we're going to circle back to that. And I believe that everybody needs a coach. And, we can look at even our star people, example, Tony Robbins, he has a mentor. He has a mentor for whomever it is that he's learning to expand on. Other mentors have mentors. So people in the field have people that they work with and allow them to mentor themselves. And so, even look how we met, all right? I do coaching full time. And yet you were my mentor when I decided that, hey, I wanted to go work on my health now. I wanted to work on reducing the extra weight that was, hanging around my heart and all that fat. I wanted to get rid of that and feel better, live longer, be able to play with the grandbabies, chase them around, catch their viruses. So, in order to do that, I had to drop a lot of weight. And so I realized, what? I thought I could do it alone. I thought I could do it on my own, but I didn't, and I couldn't. And so by investing my money and my time into working with you, I was able to drop that weight in a matter of months. It has not come back on. And, I'm happy and I'm blessed. So that's just one example in my own life. All right. And I know that I know you have mentors in your area, and we all need mentors to level up if that's what we want.
Correct. And it's what you value. I think it all stems from what you value. So I think you as a person, Elly, value time. Me, myself, I value time. And that's why I invest in areas of my life to have more time, right? So having a mentor, let's just say in business, if I have to invest in that mentor or that coach, it's going to help me make a lot more shortcuts in life. So it's going to allow me to have more time in the outcome, because instead of me trying to sit here and spin my wheels and figure out how maybe to create this new software or how to create this business plan or how to get healthy or lose 10 pounds, whatever that looks like, I can invest in a mentor that's going to teach me their expertise instead of me becoming an expert in that area, which is naturally going to allow me more time or time freedom to spend in other areas because I invested in being taught instead of trying to figure it out and maybe giving up along the way.
Oh, absolutely. And it's so true. One of the things that I tell myself there's nothing, and this is a value that I have, there's nothing more valuable than being a lifelong learner. And we also know that by continuing to learn new things all the time, it works for our brain. Otherwise we start having repetitive conversations, and we know where that goes. So the more that we continue to learn, self-develop, there's so much that we do not know about the brain and about human behavior. This is uncharted territory, and it's exciting. And having a mentor to work with, whether it be in the fields of nutrition or in terms of building your business, or even, overcoming certain addictions that you have. There are people who have spent time, their money, they've invested. Well, let's not use spend. They invested their time and their money into being able to become the expert in that area. So what better source than to go to the source people who have invested in themselves, right? As you were saying, why reinvent the wheel? Sure, yeah, I could go learn that. Maybe in another 10 years, I'll be another expert, and look where I'll be chronologically, right?
Correct. It's going to the master who's walked this path before you and learning from them, right? So I even have a mentor in business, and I even have a mentor in health. So I may teach health to others, and I may coach them through getting healthy and working through emotional components and, neural pathways and breaking chains of behaviors to create lifelong health. But I also have a coach myself for health, right? Because to me, there's no higher level of accountability either than investing your time for their knowledge, and investing also in that accountability factor as well, right? Because I know that I have to complete X, Y, and Z, maybe in my fitness level of where I'm at with my coach. And I want to show up for that. So I have to invest in that, because as human beings, we're creatures that are reinforced by accountability. We just are.
Sorry, everybody. Okay. Speaking of health,
So, and then if you value money more, you're going to sacrifice your time, right? So if, for instance, you value money more than possibly investing to get healthy, let's just say, what's going to happen is you possibly could maybe live a shorter lifespan, because you do have so much fat around your heart, but you're valuing on the scales money more than your health, instead of investing so you can gain more time, right, in your life. So it really comes down to values. I also think that people say, I don't have time, or maybe I don't have time to get healthy, or I don't have time to grow a business. And I think oftentimes people are at a crossroad of, it's not that they don't have the time, because you have the time to scroll on social media for an hour where you could be investing that time in your health or your business. It's finding the pockets of your time. I think it's doing a survey of where you're spending your time, but I also think it's the overwhelm of where to start.
And this morning, you can hear, anybody who knows me well knows that I've got a cough. And sorry, everybody. And this morning, as I was sitting in meditation, again, the thought came to me that nothing, no matter how much money you have, no matter how much time you have, nothing is more important than your health, because without your health, without your body, you have nothing. You have nothing. Correct. So, again, and getting back to that, so that is a value. And when we recognize and realize without our health, we have nothing. And so we have no quality of life. We have no focus on other things, because all you think about is, I want to feel better. I want to feel better. And so following that along, why people, I ask myself, well, why don't people want to invest in themselves? Why don't they want to get healthy? Why don't they want to learn how to self-develop and get out of certain levels of thinking? And it's just conversations again, and who they're around. And that could be another topic for another day. And it's values again, because you know what? It's not just the money. We all know people who go out and buy big screen TVs, all right, and put that on a down payment, and are sick or unhealthy and go to the ER because they just don't take care of themselves. Why? Because they just don't value, perhaps they don't value themselves enough to invest in themselves.
Yeah,
And
it's truly people will find, you could find any amount of money, most likely, that you need to have or that you want to invest in a screen, in a laptop, in an iPhone. So it's truly what do you value? So I think, truly what we're trying to get across to anybody that's listening today, or maybe at a crossroad of, valuing money, time, yourself, right? Whatever that looks like is, taking 10 minutes, 20 minutes, an hour, if you truly want to change the outcome in 2024, not the first 14 days of 2024, I'm talking the entire year, right? Is looking at where your day is spent, right? So I know that I often do an audit of my time. Where am I spending most of my time? And I look at what is the return in that area that I'm spending my time. So if I'm working with said group of people in a, say, a focus group, but there is no return or growth there, that might not be something that I want to continue with in 2024, right? So you have to audit where you're spending your time. Are you driving to work in silence or listening to rap music where you could put on a podcast that could nurture an area that you're trying to grow in yourself, right? Or if you're, I don't know, cooking dinner, could you put AirPods in and listen to something more accessible? Are you spending an hour on the couch after dinner engaging in maybe some, binge eating and screen time instead of taking that hour, maybe going into the basement and doing some stretching, meditation, or exercise? So it's just auditing your time, walking into 2024 and saying, this is where I have the time. This is what I value. This is where I want to spend my money.
Yeah. And you know what? With that, Natalie, I would love to end with a fabulous quote by a man who has been instrumental in guiding so many people in terms of mind power and mental awareness, and that is Neville Goddard. He was very prominent during the 60s and early 70s. And Neville said, you must stop spending your time, your thoughts, and your money. Everything in life must be an investment. And I looked at that as, yeah, you know what? When we spend, we give it out. It doesn't come back. So we spend our time. Well, we know where we spend our time, as you were just saying. We know where we spend our money. And maybe we need to watch where we spend our thoughts so that all of that can come back as an investment. So our thoughts are investments, our money is an investment, and our time is an investment.
Powerful stuff. Love
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Powerful.
Oh, Natalie, I wish you and your family and all our listeners and viewers a most beautiful and wonderful Happy New Year, and health and happiness and prosperity and joy and all good things.
Happy New Year, Elly. I'll see you in 2024.
All right, see you. All right, remember to hit the like button, subscribe, share, because we want to educate as many people as we possibly can reach. Thank you. Thanks, Natalie.
Bye, Elly.
Bye.